Where the hell am I?
I want to play a game.
Play a game? You wanna play Monopoly? What the fuck? I might have to take a shower after this motherfucker.
Hello, sinners. It is I, Father Evil, and I invite you to Destination Station on YouTube.
Bagels and go to Destination Station. This buddy is the bomb. Love it.
Yep.
Fucking A.
Yep.
I had to say that for a reason.
Freddie, take that, motherfucker.
All right. Okay. Fuck you. Yeah.
Jamie Kennedy. Subscribe to my man, Destination Station, right now if you want the best content.
What's up? Welcome to Destination Station. As always, I'm Destin. Thank you for clicking on this video. Subscribe to Destination Station if you want Scream, Halloween, and everything in between. And all roads lead to Woodsboro, and every town has an Elm Street. Okay, enough of that. We're into Saw X. Just got out of it. I did a short. I put it on YouTube Shorts. I also put something up on TikTok, so follow me over there. All the links are down in the description below if you want to follow me on all my socials. But now out of the way.
Let me get to the damn fucking part.
What the fuck did I just say? Alright, it's getting late. I'm getting tired. Can you tell by my eyes? Okay, so let's get into this. Saw X. Was so excited to see this movie. I am a big Saw fan. I do think they get pretty convoluted after the third film. I'm not the biggest fan of like all the everything feels like an afterthought throughout the series. We could talk about Spiral. I don't hate it that much. I thought it was okay. It's pretty mediocre. It kind of plays it safe. It's kind of different, but it's nothing bad. But it's pretty predictable at that as well. But this one was very exciting to me because we're going back to basics, and we're going back between Saw 1 and Saw 2. That really intrigued me. I was like, how are they going to do this? Are we going to get anything present day? Are we going to get anything that's like in the past? Are we going to get any flashbacks to the future or the past? Because that's what Saw does, So, and then also leading up this entire week, whenever it's been like Saw week, I've done like Saw-a-thons and refreshing my mind on the whole entire franchise. And if you've been subscribed to my channel, which you should do, by the way. So yeah, what are you doing? Subscribe to Destination Station. We're almost to 3,000. Get me there, please. But yes, Saw is a very special place in my heart, and I was very excited to see this come back. Tobin Bell, John Kramer is center focus here. I love that angle. I love it. Kind of fills in a little bit of gaps, kind of touches on a little bit of Saw 6, I believe that's the one, and it takes place between Saw 1 and Saw 2. Does it really feel like it's between Saw 1 and Saw 2? Yes, I mean, as far as storyline goes, and being John as the main focal point, we got Amanda back, which, I got some thoughts on her later on, so stick around for that for a second. But John, Tobin Bell brings his all. You really feel for this character. You really care. You're on this journey with John, and he's awesome. I mean, he's loving this role. He's killing it. No pun intended. But this movie is structured a lot differently. At least the first hour of this movie is structured a lot different than the other Saw films, and I appreciate that. I loved every bit of that. It was focused on story, it was focused on John, it was focused on like his highs and lows and what he's expecting and how he kind of comes about of putting these people that are scamming him. It's like he's almost on his own journey of like who he's growing into as a jigsaw. Is he a killer? That's up to debate. I have some thoughts on that as well. But This is good. This is good. The cinematography is a little bit different. It does look more cinematic in this one. It looks better shot, but it doesn't have that what am I trying to say? It doesn't have that Saw flair that the other ones had, like that intense like music, you know, and then like the spinning shots and just like really fast paced. It does a little bit of that, but not to the extreme like the other films did. This one's more almost like a character piece, and then like the second half is kind of formulaic of a Saw film. And then we also see a little bit of Amanda and how she grows and gets attached and comes about. But there's just something about this movie. Like I was so excited about this movie, and then when I was hearing all these early reviews of like people praising this, even people that aren't even the biggest Saw fans praising this movie, I got even more excited. And so like maybe like my expectation was like here like okay, all I want is a good Saw movie. But then whenever I was hearing those reviews, maybe it's my fault because I was like raising my expectations to here, and I was kind of let down a little bit, you know. Now pump the brakes for a little bit. That's not me saying that this is a bad Saw movie, because it is not. It's one of the better ones. Is it the best? No. I still think Saw 1 and Saw 2 were very much superior. I think this franchise shot themselves in the foot whenever they killed John Kramer in Saw 3, and everything after that was just like an afterthought, and they were just trying to backtrack stuff and make things make sense. If you've seen the Saw X trailer, we knew Amanda was back. Okay, twist revealed. We hear a voiceover of Hoffman. I'm like, okay, so he has to be back in some capacity. So what else you got? You know, that's where I'm going with this, you know, like, because Saw is all about the twist and the surprises and everything, and this one, like, I was just waiting for that. And then I heard that there's an after credit scene, which stay for that after credit scene. It's really cool. But, you know, like, I've done trailer breakdowns, I've done all these kind of theories and predictions on this film, and we knew that the original bathroom from Saw 1 and Saw 2 was coming back. You know, I think it's in a couple of the other ones, but like it's pretty predominant in Saw 1 and the ending of Saw 2. And I was like, oh, what are they going to do with this? What are they going to retcon? What are they going to do? Are we going to pivot into another timeline? Are we going to do this? Are we going to do that? Like my mind, my gears were spinning, man. And I was just so excited for this. And I was like, what are they going to really do? And I feel like, you know, if you really pay attention to that trailer, you kind of get all the reveals within that trailer. There was no surprises to me. There's a couple of twists within the movie that I saw a mile, you know, like I saw it a mile away, like it was coming. Nothing that like really blew my mind like Saw 1 or Saw 2. But, you know, it's still fun. The characters, the people that are in these traps, like some of the traps are really creative and really cringeworthy. It brings the carnage candy. It brings that gore. It's like you're cringing. You almost got to look away, but it's so good. You know, like they're creative. They're creative, but they're structured just differently. And the pacing of these traps are just structured differently. Everything's kind of like in the second half of the movie. First half, like I said, we are following John and building up to this whole entire thing, and it's kind of like the thing that kind of made him snap. You know, he already kind of snapped in the first movie, but you know, this is the movie that kind of like this is the area of his life that he just kind of like, okay, I'm doing this full-fledged, you know. And I do like that. I like to see that, you know. This almost feels like this should have been, and I hate to say it, because I want to see every Saw movie on the big screen, but I would say almost straight to streaming a little bit, or even like as a TV series, like a backstory of John Kramer and his build up to what he is now. Like I would like to see more of John Kramer at this time of his life, and see more backstory and him kind of like grow into the Jigsaw killer. You know, that's what I would like to see. I like stretch that part out. Because after that first half and we get into that formulaic Saw movie, there's not much more that the movie has to offer, you know. And I mean, it's all fun, it's all cool, but you kind of see these twists kind of a mile away. You kind of see where it's kind of headed. There's a couple of question marks that they leave at the end of this movie that's kind of like, how does that person get out? Or is there going to be a sequel to this? Is there going to be a follow-up to this before, you know, we get a Saw 2? Like we don't know. I really thought that it would have been smart to like veer off into another timeline or another direction, and they could still do that. But like where it ends, like I thought that they might even slightly tie in a little bit of Spiral. And you know, spoiler alert, letting you know now. Don't get your hopes for that. There was opportunity for that I felt like, but they just did not touch on it. Like maybe they just didn't want to touch it at all. But if you really look at it, Spiral was the 9th film, and this is the 10th, so it has to be canon in some capacity. So, anyways, but the way this movie ends, I like everything that's being presented to me, but it just did not hit the landing that I was hoping that it was. And I might be just biased about this because like maybe my expectations was just like through the roof, especially after some of these early reviews. I was just like, it got me even more excited. But after like breaking down in all these theory videos that I have made, you can go back and watch them on my channel. We saw that okay, like for a missed opportunity, like you know, if you don't want to know anything, you know, you might want to click off of this now, but I'm going to put up some spoilers here. But, you know, we knew the OG bathroom scene was back. We knew that setting was back. And I was excited about that. They showed that in the trailer. If you kind of slow it down, we kind of saw that. And I was like, okay, what are they going to do with this? How are we going to go back to there? Are they really going to blow our minds like the first 2 movies? And really, we get that in the opening. I mean, not the opening, but the after credit scene. So yeah, stick around for that. It's like a mid credit scene, really, not like an after credit scene. And we are in that OG bathroom. And what's going on in it, I was like, oh, I expected this from somewhere before the credits even rolled, but we're just getting this in the after credit scene. But who shows up in that after credit scene? I was like, you kind of blew your load in the trailer. You really didn't have any surprises up your sleeve when it comes to twist or killers coming back or anything like that, because you kind of like showed or you heard these killers in the trailer, and I was like, why did you do that? Like don't give us anything, but you kind of like fed us some breadcrumbs, especially for us that make content, you know, here on YouTube or on TikTok or wherever. You kind of like. You gave us a little bit of everything, so you gave us a little bit to speculate on, but there's nothing else beyond that. That's what it is. Here's this twist. So when that twist does happen, or that extra oomph that does happen, you just don't feel it. You're like, I expected that. What else you got? And it just doesn't have anything else. and that's it. And I was like, okay. I appreciate this sequel. I think it's great. I love seeing Tobin Bell back as John Kramer. That first half of that movie is just so well. I think it would have been great as a series, or even like you know, like a streaming service movie or something like that. Like, I think it's great. The character Amanda, I'm glad to see Amanda back in this, but her hair, like, come on, like, we know why John Kramer is looking decrepit and sickly, because he is a cancer patient, right? It kind of makes sense. We can make that work on screen. Amanda, this is 20 years later, pretty much, and with her, them giving her that low cut haircut, kind of reminded me of Gail Weathers from Scream 3 a little bit, you know, like it was kind of distracting more than it like helped the movie. I don't know what they were really thinking. They were trying to make her look younger, but it didn't make her look younger. It just kind of made it look like she went to the wrong hairstylist or something, or whatever. I'm glad to see her back. I think she's a beautiful young lady. I think she's a big staple in the Saw franchise. But they should have used some of that budget to de-age some of these characters, at least Amanda's character. And I don't know. It was just more distracting. It was cool to see her back. It was cool to see her and John Kramer work together and orchestrate this whole thing. This is probably the less scary of the Saw franchise. I'll give it that. Okay, this is more like you're in the front seats of John Kramer and Amanda, and you're seeing what they're doing, and they're the main focal point, right? So when you do something like that, you're not, the suspense is kind of gone. You know, they did have a couple of scenes that was kind of suspenseful, but they go by really quick, and they're pretty formulaic to the Saw franchise. But after that, it's kind of like, you know, it's just, it is what it is. So yeah, kudos to everybody that loved this movie and has given it praise. And I've even heard some people say this is the best Saw movie in the entire franchise, or at least it's the best one since the original. And I just don't know if I agree with that. You know, like, I hate to review movies and give it a certain rating because I could feel a different way on a different day. But this is a good entry, I'll give it that. This is one of the better entries, but I don't know if it's the best one of the franchise. I really don't think it is. I would say that this one, probably 1 and 2, is still superior in the entire franchise. 6 is still pretty good. 3, especially 4 and 5, like they started losing me there. A Spiral had its moments. I just wanted it to all kind of tie in. I wanted it to be X marks the spot. You know, like in the first Saw movie, you know, turn off the lights, you know, and there was like an X on the wall and it's like X marks the spot, whatever. I wanted them to play a little bit of that kind of trope. And, you know, this is me asking for a lot, okay? But I am a big horror fan and I am a big Saw fan. And if you remember correctly, in the first Saw movie, John Kramer was kind of like a slasher, but he also was setting traps. He had that blade that kind of like came out of his sleeve, like Assassin's Creed or something, and they cut Danny Glover's throat. He wasn't successful in killing him, but he attempted to, you know? So you can't say he's not a killer. But this movie makes you sympathize with him more. And I'm glad that I did. And I'm glad I went on this journey with him. It was really good. It's a good send-off. But it almost feels like, is it a send-off? Because it feels like they could do another one. And are we going to get something else like right after this? And you know, like, do we need a Saw 11? This kind of just like, I just wanted something. Like, something a little bit smarter. Or don't put all your eggs in one basket or in one trailer and give away all your hand, you know, like surprise me. I wanted that jaw-dropping moment like I got at the end of Saw, and the way I got it at the end of Saw 2. I wanted that feeling, you know. The older we get as horror fans, it's hard to find that feeling, that nostalgic, that excitement, that you know, like that moment that was like, oh, I did not see that coming. That just completely surprised us, hit us at the right time of our lives, and I just wanted that with Saw X. That's not saying it's a bad movie. It's a good movie. Go see it. It definitely deserves your money. It's definitely a good Saw entry. Maybe I'm being too harsh. I don't know. I hope you like the intro of this movie. Subscribe to Destination Station if you haven't already. If you want Scream, Halloween, and everything in between, I appreciate y'all. Get me to 3,000 subs. I'm almost there, and I love you all, and I hope you enjoy Saw X. And what were you expecting, and did it meet all your expectations? So yeah, did you see Saw? Alright, enough nerd shit. I'm going to bed. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys when I see you guys. I'll be right back.
I'll be right back.